All right, my friends, welcome back to Frog Boy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about the new GPUs that are going to be coming out. It is new GPU season, and everybody starts to get excited. I'm excited too. Don't get me wrong. Like, the FOMO has obviously reached fever pitch for everybody out there. Obviously, as a content creator, it's in my best interest to buy and utilize those GPUs to make content with. So I want you guys to know first and foremost that I am very happy with my AMD 7900 XTX. I really don't feel like I need to upgrade, but in terms of being able to create content and show off the new products and stuff, we're definitely going to be getting at least the AMD side of things. I've put a lot of time and effort into Nvidia, and I'm not saying that it's bad or anything like that. I really don't want you guys to feel like I just outright hate Nvidia. I don't. But, you know, for the purpose of today's video, let's try to help you guys, because I know that some of you are gonna buy Nvidia no matter what. Like, I know that, and you should buy whatever's gonna make you happy, whatever you feel is gonna make you happy. But honestly, guys, you do see a lot of people that are constantly upset about the 5080 coming out with 16 gigs of VRAM, obviously the 5070 having 7 gigs of VRAM, and a 5060 still having 8 gigs of VRAM. I get it, guys. You get a lot of people out there that are going to defend this stuff tooth and nail, and yeah, I don't understand why. But when you look at the VRAM allotments for these cards, and then you, I mean, if you put them where they belong in the specific class that they deserve to be in, like if you look at a 48 or 5080 Super or a 5080 and you call that card a 1440p card, I don't think you would ever regret or have a problem with that purchase. I think that you'd be able to run that GPU on an ultra wide 1440p monitor. You'd be able to you'd be able to run some games at 4K, like, no problem. I mean, 16 gigs of VRAM is a good enough buffer for some of that stuff, but when you start pushing, you know, like bigger open worlds with higher quality textures, stuff like that, you're going to start to see that 5080, you know, start to fall off a little bit. And so in order to save yourself the frustration and the heartache and all of that nonsense, buy those cards for what they are. If you look at a card and it says it's got a 256-bit bus, just assume that that is a 1440p card. I don't care how powerful it is when it first launches. You got to look at it this way. Yes, it'll be a decent 4K card, but it is going to be a powerhouse 1440p card. Now, if you look at that and you're okay with that, and you can justify being able to spend the money on that card anywhere from $1,000 to $1,600, depending on whatever Nvidia decides is the price for that, then you'll probably have a little bit better time with that GPU. And the same is going to go for a 5070. If a 5070 is really going to launch with 12 gigs of VRAM on a 192-bit bus, that's an entry-level 1440p card, but definitely a powerhouse 1080p card. And man, I'm sorry, I have to look at it this way, just due to the fact that, like, every generation Nvidia comes out, these cards, you know, people will play with them. I mean, when you've got Digital Foundry literally coming and saying that a 4070 Super is a 4K card, how do you argue with that? They're the experts. How do you argue with the experts? And then, lo and behold, it gets to the end of the generation, and those are no longer 4K cards. They're no longer 1440p cards. They're basically 1080p cards. If you want all the bells and whistles that come with these Nvidia GPUs, because let's face it, the ray tracing, the path tracing, the DLSS, these are all the features that you buy an Nvidia GPU for, that you've convinced yourself, or that people have convinced you that this is the best reason to own those. Now, I look at my experience on AMD, and I don't ever look back. Like, I really don't ever look back. Every once in a while, I do kind of, you know, feel like, man, you should have kept that 47 or that 4080 Super so that you could compare stuff toward the end of the generation. But at the same time, like, I just wasn't happy with the Nvidia experience. I just don't care as much for that overhyped stuff as a lot of other people out there do. I personally just want a good, solid, well-rounded GPU, and I feel like AMD delivered that for me with the 7900 XTX. Actually, the 7900 XT felt like a pretty dang good card, but now that I've got the XTX, I just feel happy. Like, I don't ever put in a game and think, oh man, like this is not a good experience. I mean, I always find a way for that game to just be absolutely mind-blowing. And, you know, I guess coming from a console mindset kind of definitely helps that out a lot, because things that matter to certain gamers, like let's be real, okay? Like, I'm a gamer, and something like a little bit of shimmering on something in a video game, that is not enough to make me spend X amount $100 more for something to make it fakely go away. You know what I mean? To rely on a software or AI upscaling to make that go away, it's not that big enough of an issue. That is a digital foundry problem, plain and simple. And Nvidia benevolently gives them free 90 class GPUs so they don't have to worry about that. That's fine, dude. If that's an issue for them, let it be their issue. They don't have an issue. They shouldn't have an issue with it because they have 40, 90 GPUs. Why are they going out of their way to call people poor? That's the way I look at it. Look, man, if you can only afford a 70 class card, that's what you get. If you can only afford this card or that card, that's what you can get, man. If you want more bang for your buck and you got to go AMD so that you get more VRAM, so that you get more power, but you get a little bit of shimmer, that's a fair trade-off for me, man. I would rather have a little bit of shimmer and have the ability to actually run my games the way I want to run them versus being stuck having to use, you know, whatever AI upscaling the AI feels is best for my games. I don't necessarily like it that much. And to be completely honest with you guys, like PSSR, I kind of like the way the PSSR is making these games look. I like that little bit softer look. I think it's doing a pretty decent job. But in the overall greater scheme of things, you know, when you look at some of these experiences, it really does, you know, it really does kind of make you question, you know, like, what exactly are we paying for going forward when it comes to these Nvidia GPUs? Are we getting the best bang that we can be getting or that we could get for our PC gaming experience? Or are we literally just buying these things because people are hyping them up and we believe in the people that are hyping them up? I don't know what to say, guys. I don't know what to think anymore. I've bought plenty of Nvidia GPUs. I've bought plenty of AMD GPUs. And to tell you the truth, like, I don't think the difference is big enough to where you should put yourself, you know, like take the 4070 Super and the 59 or the 7900 GRE. You can get a significantly better card for the same price with more VRAM and have a longer experience with that GRE. So I don't know, man. I don't know, guys. That's just the way I'm looking at it. If you got to buy an Nvidia card, just do it with the just put them in their place in your mind so that you know, so that you can fully enjoy that experience longer. Because I think that if you do that, I think that you'd get more bang for your buck. I feel like you'd be in a better position, and then that would actually help you look at things a little bit differently. Maybe even looking at like AMD or Intel or something like that. Yeah, guys, I don't know, man. Name and fancy software is not 100% enough reason for me to pay that significantly higher price for an Nvidia GPU. So, all right, guys, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.